Welcome, welcome, welcome to another great episode of Let's Talk 1943. I'm your host, Regina Smithwick, and we are having a ball in Vegas. Been here for a week, and yesterday I was able to spend time with the NFL Alumni Association of Las Vegas. And we actually have a guest here today that is going to be able to tell us a little bit more about the organization. So I'm looking forward to doing that. So if you're ready, let's talk. So let me introduce you officially. All right. So we have Vicki Campbell here. She's the volunteer coordinator for the NFL Alumni Association of Las Vegas. Welcome to Let's Talk.
Regina, thank you for having me. Really appreciate it.
Oh, thank you for the quick turnaround. You know, I actually, our first episode for season 3, I had April on Noble, and she told me about you, and she talked so highly about you. And so yesterday I beeline to you when I saw you at the door, right? So I had made sure that I had to get in contact with you because I wanted you on the show because, you know, this has been a big weekend. This is the NFL. This was the big Super Bowl day. And why not end Let's Talk 1943 in Vegas on this high note of the Super Bowl in NFL? So thank you for coming so we could talk about the association.
I appreciate that. Thank you.
Oh, no problem, no problem. And I know that we had Mr. Chris that's supposed to been with us today, correct?
Yes, Jackson Chris, our VP of NFL Alumni,
Yeah.
Las Vegas.
So what we'll do is we'll start with his information because I want to definitely acknowledge him because I know he was under the weather, but we definitely want to make sure that we know about Mr. Chris. So you want to tell us about him first?
Well, I'm going to have to read it because he's got a lot of stuff. So Jackson Crisp is the international speaker. He's a mentor, business coach. He was the top competitor in multiple sports, football, reaching the NFL level as a former offensive tackle for the New York Jets. And Jackson's that real tall guy that you see in those pictures. Through his decorated career, Jackson's worked with the U.S. government, top companies, providing engineering and high-level project management services. He presently serves as business consultant, provides motivational, inspirational, and keynote talks, in addition to training in the areas of peak performance, mindset, productivity, influence, and focus. He's an avid inventor. See, I'm finding out more about Jackson. Has several patents and trademarks attached to his name. He's the founder of 2 companies. The first, Crisp Global Inc., the knowledge products company, providing personal and business empowerment services that positively impact the world. And the second, Encoded Inc., a tech startup, I know he's working on that now, providing NFC and QR codes, integrated products and services. He is the vice president of the NFL Alumni. He served as a board member for 2 501c3s, nonprofits, 2019 to 2021, Unsilenced Voices, Combating Domestic Violence, Human Trafficking Globally, and the NFL Alumni Las Vegas chapter, Positively Impacting Kids, Communities, and Caring for Our Own.
Wow.
Yeah, as of 2021, Jackson proudly serves as the advisor to Unsilenced Voices and as the vice president for the NFL Alumni Las Vegas chapter. He's a big guy, standing 6'8", with a heart just as big. He is unforgettable. You can't miss him. Combining his background in sports, business, and a very colorful life, always brings his A game. So you can find more about him at http Wikipedia. I guess that is .com. Well, look under Jackson Chris. You'll find him. www.jackson.coach for speaking, training, and business-related inquiries.
Wow, that's amazing. That's amazing.
I know he's got quite the resume.
Yeah,
quite.
Yeah,
So,
that's wonderful. I would have to get him on and talk to him. He has a lot of stuff going on.
lots of stuff.
Yeah. So tell me about yourself. I know you're the coordinator, volunteer coordinator. So tell me about exactly what you do and and how your job being a coordinator.
What that entails. Well, you know what? Last year in February, one of my buddies said, Vicki, you need to come to this event. And here's Marlon Greenwood, Vince Vashore. Marlon's the president of our NFL alumni here in Vegas, and Vince Vashore is a director. So I met both of them a couple weeks later. I walk in because I did Super Bowl in San Diego, so I walk in with a pristine Super Bowl red shirt from 2003, which is a few years ago, right? And he goes, Vince goes, oh, yeah, you're the only one that should be here, Vicki. So, I like to dress the part when I go to those things.
Yeah, you're supposed
and I
to.
got hired. So the whole gist of it is that, it takes a village. The NFL alumni is the charity arm of it. So we didn't have as many volunteers as the Super Bowl host committee, but everything that we do is caring for kids. So I wanted to reach out because I've done a lot of charity, continue to do it. I want to reach out to the folks that really want to be involved on the charity side.
Right.
Caring for kids. And that's really, I've got an amazing group of people that keep showing up every single time I ask them.
That's amazing.
So that's it. I mean, we've had a huddle up since I think July. I think we missed one in October, but I need 10 to 15 volunteers. That's one of our events, and we have one actually on Thursday. I think you're going to miss it.
Yes.
But we finished season 1 in January before Super Bowl, and then now this is season 2, and it's really kind of putting the passion back in your business. But what it is, it's a scavenger hunt, and then it's a grand 300-person networking event.
Wow.
And then all our vendors, we want all the participants to participate. So you go up to this food vendor, and they've got all of their social media stuff. So you, in order to get points, because that's the whole thing, you get points, you have to interact with their business on their social media. I've got to take them or whatever, and you get 1,000 points. Then you go to the next one, you get 1,000 points. And then you go to this vendor, be it money or resource or something,
Right.
you get 1,000 points. And then if you stand in front of the NFL alumni, step and repeat, you get 1,000 points. And then we've got this one gentleman that has a bunch of the Star Wars people. So you get points for getting by Chewbacca or, or Iron Man.
So basically, when you get the points, you get like gifts with the point system.
Well, whoever gets the most points gets to be the MVP for that particular event. And they get all sorts of fun, pretty cool prices.
Okay.
Yeah.
Get a little
it's-
swag.
Yeah. And then we have, some, raffle items. And then we've got a gentleman that comes in with, where you can, almost like an auction. So we have that too, but it's really interactive.
A lot of networking,
Absolutely, all of
happening.
that, yeah.
So let's go back a little bit. So what's the purpose of the NFL Association?
Well, it is, it is. I don't think it says on here, but if you'll see by a step and repeat, you'll see it says caring for kids. And I don't think this one says that. But if you'll see on the step and repeat, caring for kids. So we had 5 children's charities, and I can't name them all, unfortunately.
That's all right.
But 5 children's charities, and it's interesting because I spoke to the CEO at an event last week, last week, and he goes, "How many charities do we have?" And I said, "We have 5, and they're all children's charities."
Okay.
So one is glasses, the other is education. Marlon Greenwood has MG52, which is his charity. He puts on football camps. He had a 3-day football, 2 half days, and then a Saturday football camp, freezing football camp. And then he also has one in the summer where it's super hot.
I know
and
it
so
is,
a half a
especially
day
here.
and then 2 others. Yeah. Our last one was, I think it was about 117 degrees. Kids had such a great time. We had so many kids from, first grade to the senior in high school.
Senior 12th grade.
Amazing. So there's so much stuff going on.
So if that's the purpose for kids and kids charity, right?
Yes.
So what's the process? Like, okay, let's say you're NFL, you retire or whatever out of the active NFL. So do you automatically join the organization to do the charity work, or how does that process work?
I'm not exactly sure how that goes.
Okay.
So how you get in there? Obviously, if you're a former NFL, it appears that it's that way, but I can't speak to that exactly.
Okay, that's fine.
'cause I'm not
That's
sure.
fine. Okay, that's fine. So when they join, is it other things that they get, any kind of support, or is it any kind of, like, what do the NFL players receive by being a member of the Association of Las Vegas?
Well, first of all, you know what? Caring for themselves, that's one thing. Caring for kids is the next thing.
Okay.
And then caring for our community. So there's three, it's kind of a three-prong approach. I'll talk to you a little bit about, they had a health fair last week, and Dr. Roz was one of the guest speakers, but also Ralph Benerska was a player, a kicker in San Diego. And it's funny because I recognized him. He talked about his challenges when he was ill and still playing. And then another one I thought was really interesting, I'm diabetic, and they had a whole, they had a young lady that was diabetic that was kind of the moderator. They had a player that was diabetic, and actually, you know, as a diabetic, you know, I can roll up my pen and just stick that right when I need that. This young man is old school. He's got the vial and the I
and
know
it draws it out.
I draws
My
it out.
granddaddy
Like,
used to do that.
I couldn't believe that. So he was really interested, and then interesting to listen to. And this young lady has a pump, and I have a Dexcom, which is a constant monitoring glucose. So it's like a thing.
Oh,
goes
yeah,
in.
I saw the commercial.
Yeah.
and I
So
was- yeah.
I mean, this young lady's like 26. So she was a perfect moderator for that. And they talked about heart and so many other things that could go wrong, from, you know, abuse to, you know, chemical abuse to alcohol abuse to any of that. And that, I think, as
Health-related.
NFL alumni is there, I believe, to help those things. And it's a plethora of items.
Okay, so
amazing.
basically they just get overall this love and care.
Lots
and
of
then
love and
at
care.
the same time, they help in the community, and at the same time, they're giving back to the children, right? So three
Yes.
components. I mean, you can't go wrong with that.
No.
And then you stay networked with your other NFL players that, you know, keep you in the loop of what's going on, and, you know, and they kind of have a brotherhood.
I
It's
would
like
think.
somewhere, like, nobody else knows that experience but them. They're the only ones that know this. So for them to be able to have a place, a network, they can help other people, but yet stay connected.
Right.
It's a great source. It really is.
Well, I mean, I think that's the best. I mean, I think Ralph said that. He goes, "You don't know unless you're in that locker
don't
room.
know till
You
you know."
don't know." And I mean, we surely wouldn't know that unless we were there. And I think that is the, you know, the thread that keeps them together.
Yeah, and I know we had talked briefly yesterday about, you know, a lot of times when their careers are over, people think they're over, right? So that's not the case. Like, they just start a new chapter in their lives. It's just something new. But people put their I guess you want to say, how they see people on their careers, not on the person.
Right.
So they see them as, oh, you was a quarterback, or you was a tight end, or you was this. Oh, you ain't nothing no more because you're not playing. And it's like, it's not fair, because nobody didn't say you ain't nothing because whatever you're doing, you know. But people they put titles on people, and they see them as a title, not who they truly are. And I think sometimes they could go through some kind of identity crisis if they are so into getting, you know, certain treatment and all this, and, you know, sometimes for 20 years, and then all of a sudden when they retire, people see them different. So for them to have this association, to be able to be with other fellow NFL players, it's deep. They need that. It's like, I'm not saying, you know, anything that you join for a long period of time, even when you're tired from jobs, sometimes people get lost. They don't know what to do with themselves.
Or retire. Or, I mean, get out of retirement, whatever that age is.
Right.
For sure.
Right. And their age, of course, is younger than, you know, regular corporate world age. And they have so much more to live for. I mean, some people get out in 40, they're young. They still got a whole life to live. So it's good that they have some kind of connection as soon as they get out. And I always say life is about service, right? So for them to come out and serve others, it makes them feel better about themselves anyway, point blank. Just doing that alone will make you feel better about yourself. So I'm glad that y'all do have this. And I didn't know about y'all until last year when, actually not, well, now it is last year. So we was here in, I forgot what it was.
Wow.
So we was here April of last year.
Yeah.
And we was invited to your organization for the draft.
Right.
And that oh my goodness, it was an amazing event. It was put together so nicely, and I was able to meet a couple of people. I know you. I don't know if you was there or not.
So where was that located?
I don't know. It was on a rooftop. I know
Oh,
that.
you're talking about I was at the Ghost Bar. Yeah, I
Oh,
was there.
yeah.
I was
You was there. I didn't meet you.
I didn't meet you then.
Yeah,
no.
I didn't meet you then. But it was a great event, and that was the first time I ever knew about Alumni Association at NFL. That was the first time I ever heard of it. And then when I started seeing how it's operated and how everything was structured nicely, everything was put out right, and I was like, okay. I said, this is nice. So for me now to talk to you one on one and say, okay, well, not one on one of thousands, but
Of
but
course.
to know how this operation goes, it's really interesting. So I really appreciate you being here for that. So, and like I said, April was the connection piece that I met her there, and she's so bubbly, and so her whole spirit is beautiful.
Oh,
Beautiful
She had
spirit.
her service. I mean, she served in the military, so she's got one more level that a lot of people don't have.
Right, exactly, and she's a part of your association. So those are the
Yep.
type of people you have, right?
Yeah,
Because
that's right.
they care
Yes.
and they volunteers. So right there,
It's all about that.
it's all about that. Because volunteering, you're not asking for no money. You're not getting no money for this. So
Nope.
they giving their hearts out. So now, so the charity events you told me about, we already talked about that. Now the community side of it, what kind of community events do the association?
Well, they, with one of the charities that we had was Just One. And I'm trying to remember exactly how that worked, but I think they have a food bank. So they had different things like that going on. And then sometimes we weren't the primary charity.
Right.
But like, for example, over Memorial Day last year, already last year,
I know, it was
we were,
quick.
I think I had 15 volunteers. They're like, we need people. And we were the support that, really was a big part of that event. And it wasn't our event per se, but we were, we had our name on it. Marlon was there. Jackson was there.
Yeah, collaboration.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And so many of those things. For example, Marlon just had his football camp, but it was Lawrence Taylor is another NFL.
Oh,
so
yeah.
they did that together, this last week. It's already last week.
I know.
Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. So, there's so much of that. And then I'll tell you about this. The Super Bowl of golf, we had that. It was, and it's funny because we keep talking about it. It's a big operation.
Oh yeah, golf.
And I
yeah.
needed so many volunteers, and it was dark 30. Well, we had to be there at 6 a.m. Yeah. And I found my volunteers. I did. Reached out and I helped find golfers. I've helped get sponsors. I kind of did the whole package.
Oh.
And what happens on that one, and they'll have it every year, the top four, so there's 2 and 2 players. Yeah, 2.
Okay.
And the top 4 players ended up going to Miami to the Super Bowl of golf.
Oh.
And they got, flight and rooms and all of that, and their entrance fee, all of that to go. And then whoever got, I don't know if it was just one person or 2, but they got the big prizes for that. And it was end of October last year. So it would have been sometime in November that they had that. So they have things that build up. Every time there's a Super Bowl, there's stuff. And
There's
that's
stuff
one of
behind
them
it. Yeah, or
that
before it.
happens. Yeah. So, again,
So seeing that you're talking about volunteers and how you had to pull up and get volunteers, let's talk about that because I know you need volunteers, correct?
of course,
So-
always.
So tell us here in Vegas, how can they, if anybody was interested in being a volunteer, how would they go on to proceed to be one?
You know what? You got to find me because I'm the one that's taking care of all of that.
Okay.
So Vicki at VickiCampbell.com or
Okay.
702-350-3511. So
You
I'll
sure
tell
you wanted to do that?
Yeah, I'm a good. You know what? I only have one phone number. So what
Okay.
happens, for example,
Okay.
Regina, the huddle up. So I'm on camera 2 or 3 times, or like maybe even 5 times before that event.
Okay.
Or if we have an event coming up, I'm like this. I put because we wear you got the black and white.
Yeah.
Your referee shirt.
A
We got a
referee shirt,
referee
right?
shirt on. So I'm like this. You know what this is? I'm talking about the Huddle Up season 2, but first one, and I've been on 3 times. Now I have to do it a couple more times.
Okay.
Like you saw me, right? I reminded you, right? You got to sign up here, right? If you don't want to sign up, you're going to volunteer, right? So I give them plenty of opportunity.
Okay.
And then they say, gosh, Vicki, I think I've seen you before. I think so.
Yeah, exactly.
Probably like hundreds of times.
So I probably reached out to you already.
Yeah.
I probably do that. So before we leave today, I'll make sure you repeat that again. So
Okay.
we could definitely get people that live in this area, if they're interested in volunteering and giving themselves to this organization that's doing
Absolutely.
amazing things. So we'll get back to that at the end. So let's talk about if a person want to join the association, not volunteers. Is there a way for people to join the association, or how does that work?
I suspect there is. I think, again, that the NFL Alumni Association, yeah, I suspect there is. You know, if actually, if you go to NFL Alumni LV.org, because I kind of pulled it up this morning. It'll show, Marlon, Jackson, the other folks that are on there, but all sorts of, for them, which is the players, for kids, and for our community. Lots of information on that website.
Okay.
So
you
I
probably
think
find
if
all
they
that
want to
on there.
know, you just got to dig for it, or kind of go through the different things.
Yes.
And it'll give you lots of information. So, and whomever is the person that collects that, they'll be back in touch.
They'll be back in touch. Okay.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it seemed like that would be something that people want to do, is probably join that.
Sure.
Especially NFL is big out here now, because you have the team out here. And, we was at a Super Bowl event after we left your
Oh, did you?
event.
Yeah.
And someone was from here saying that there's no tickets for season tickets anymore. He said they done. So,
Oh no, that got sold out a while ago.
Yeah, that's what it said.
Yeah,
That's what
yeah.
she said.
I mean, really, I worked the SBX, which is the NFL Experience. I'm going to talk about that just a little bit.
Okay.
So a lot of my volunteers ended up working that event as well.
Oh.
So I was kind of there, as there, there were other folks too, but I'm kind of the leader, so I'm of that part,
right.
but not the XBX. This was actually the folks that put it on, the company that put it on. They were my volunteers this summer, last summer, and then
So you're just
ended
rotating
up, I mean, it
volunteers
just
through.
it's a collective, and the volunteers have been so good about doing their job, their job. You know what? If you have that right heart,
Right.
it's not hard to do.
Yeah, and like you said, y'all make it easy. Y'all, you make it
Easy.
easy to do it. So, like I said, I heard Holly's stuff about it. That's why I wanted you here to kind of tell us in your words and how this works, because I know people in Vegas would love the opportunity to serve, and they have another opportunity with y'all at the NFL Association of Las Vegas to be able to serve. So, before we leave out today, what else is going on? Anything coming up? I know we talked about the latest thing, right, the huddle, but is there anything else after that that's coming up that you want the people to know?
I don't know of anything right now. I think what they tried to do and intended to do is, when we had different things going on, they wanted it more of a legacy, not just a one and done. So that was the whole intent of some of these different events. Like I said, we'll have the huddle up every single month. I thought my job was done. It's not, because it's every month, which I'm fine with. I mean, I'm still involved, and I'm happy to be involved. I'm excited to be there, and that they let me keep doing this. So we'll have that every single month. It's usually like 12, 13, 14, 15. It's like that middle week, and like a Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday.
Okay.
So that will happen. Super Bowl of Golf, we'll have that at the end of October. I'm not sure what else, but sometimes I don't know until we get a little bit closer.
Yeah, but every month, that's something.
Every month.
Every month, that keeps you busy. That's a lot. The weeks, as we get older, they come really quick.
I
mean,
know.
literally, like, you'll say, oh, I got to do it at the end of the month. And before you know it's the end of the month, like, what is going on? The older I get, the quicker time comes. I'm like, okay. It seems like you're doing something every week, but it's only once a month.
Well, I mean, if you're a realtor, it seems like that anyway. But I know we talked a little bit about the huddle up, and we've got, Heather Phillips is a producer of that, and she's part of the NFL Alumni. And, we talk, and Vince, and we talked about how do we make it better and better and better, and I want to make, I want to be a part of that, making it better, because, it's such a good organization, and why wouldn't people want to come there, do that, volunteer for it, give give to the kids. Boom, boom, boom,
Right.
boom.
Yeah. There you
Simple
go.
as that.
Yeah. Look, you ended it perfectly. Boom. There you go.
Where's the mic?
Boom. She just dropped the mic on us. Just dropped the mic on us.
Yeah.
So, do you have any final words you want to leave before you leave the Let's Talk family?
You know what?
Yes, ma'am.
You know what? I grew up giving. That's how we grew up. My kids do that. You know, my husband does it. And when I can find like people that do that, it's all about that.
Yeah.
Family or extended family.
Yeah, it is.
For sure.
It is. It definitely is. So before we leave out today, I want to thank you once again for joining us today. You can find me on YouTube, Let's Talk 1943. Please hit the like and subscribe button. Tap it, y'all. Tap it. I would love for you to be a part of our family, Let's Talk fam, as I call us. And on top of that, we are on any platform of podcasting. So you could go to Google, go to Apple, go to Spotify. It's under Let's Talk 1943. I'm your host, Regina Smithwick. And we're going to have so many episodes coming up. The season 3 just started. And I am now on your home TV network. Yes, I am. I am streaming on Kathy Ireland's Your Home TV network. Yes, Kathy Ireland. The Kathy Ireland. Yes, this is her network. And I'm blessed and highly favored that I am on this network. So I want you to come with me on this journey. And we are growing, as you see. We are growing. So we are in Vegas. I've been here for a week. I am so happy and honored to be here with being able to be on Radio Row for the week and be able to meet all these beautiful people like Vicki. And I would definitely be back. I would say, I've been here. It seems like it's like every other month. It seems like I'll be back in 2 weeks. So you may see me here again doing some interviews with some people in 2 weeks. That's how it's looking right now. So God's been blessing me, and I'm just, like you said, doing the work of the kingdom. And my final word is giving, community and giving. We are brought here to give and serve. That's the only reason why we're here, ladies and gentlemen. We're not here to serve ourselves. We're here to serve other people. We are not here, let me repeat that. We are not here just for us. We are here to serve other people. To do that is to do things like this. Join these kind of organizations that's giving back to kids in the community. And when you don't feel good about yourself, or you feel depressed, or you feel like life is not treating you well, promise you, give back and you will not feel that way no more. It's our DNA is made up that way. When we help others, it makes us feel good about ourselves, right? Because there's people out there that's less fortunate than us. And when you give to these people while you feel like you're going through, there's people out there going through way more than you, way more. So you need to give your heart, like Vicki was saying, give your heart. Yeah. And it's about that. So please, if you didn't learn anything else today, find an organization. I gave you one. Look, if you're in Vegas, I gave you one. But if you're not here, find an organization, find someone. Help someone you know that's going through. Someone, it don't have to be nothing big organization, but just go out there and find a place that you could give, because people need you. God needs you. He needs you out there working. He don't need you home, like I always call it, Netflixing. That's my word, Netflixing. It's good to do it once in a while, but we're supposed to go out there and help the community and help the world to be a better place. So until next time, everyone, I am Regina Smithwick, your host. Let's Talk 1943. God bless you. I love you. Until next time.
Thank you.
Thank you, Vicki, for joining us.